Imagine yourself stranded on a deserted island, alone, hopeless, and abandoned by fate. What would you do? Would you surrender to despair, or would you trust in the unseen forces guiding your life? Today, we explore a profound story of faith, patience, and the unseen hand of destiny. This tale, though simple on the surface, mirrors the wisdom found in Buddhist teachings, that suffering, loss, and uncertainty often carry the seeds of our greatest breakthroughs. Stay with me until the end, because this story may just change how you see the struggles in your own life. Once, a ship sailed across the vast ocean, carrying numerous passengers to their destination. But fate had its own plans. A violent storm struck, wrecking the ship and pulling everyone beneath the merciless waves. Amidst the chaos, one man miraculously survived. The ocean currents carried him to the shore of a remote island, deserted, barren, and utterly lifeless. When he awoke, he realized his situation. Alone, stranded, and with no sign of rescue, he did the only thing he knew. He prayed. "Oh God, please help me. Please send me someone, anyone, to rescue me." Days passed. No one came. Each morning, he would wake up, eyes full of hope, scanning the horizon. Nothing. Nights were cold, lonely, and filled with thoughts of despair. Yet he tried to adapt. He built a shelter out of wood and grass, gathering pieces from the shipwreck. He learned to survive on coconuts and fish. One day, while cooking, a spark from his fire set his small hut ablaze. In mere moments, everything he had built was gone. His shelter, his few belongings, his fragile sense of security. Raising his fist to the sky, he cried out in anger. "Oh God, how could you be so cruel? First, you abandoned me, and now you burn my only shelter." That night, he fell asleep on the cold sand, exhausted and broken. But when morning came, he was awakened by a loud horn blasting from the sea. A ship had arrived. Overwhelmed with joy, he hurried onto the vessel. Once aboard, he asked the captain, "How did you find me? How did you know I was here?" The captain smiled and said, "We saw your fire signal from afar. That's why we came." In that instant, the man realized the truth. The fire that destroyed his shelter was the very thing that saved him. What he thought was his greatest loss was, in fact, his salvation. At its core, this story isn't just about survival. It's a metaphor for life's unexpected struggles. In Buddhist philosophy, suffering, dukkha, is an unavoidable part of existence. It teaches us that clinging to our own desires, our own plans, and our own ideas of how life should unfold often leads to disappointment. Much like the man on the island, we make plans, we set expectations, we hope for a smooth journey. But life has its own course. The burning hut represents the destruction of our attachments, whether to material things, relationships, or even our own ideas of success and happiness. When life seems unfair, when everything falls apart, our first reaction is often anger and despair. But what if, instead of resisting, we embraced impermanence and trusted that something greater is at play? Life's challenges are often hidden blessings. What appears to be a disaster may be setting you up for something greater. Sometimes, the loss of a job, a failed relationship, or an unexpected obstacle is the very thing that redirects us toward our true path. Surrender and let go of attachments. The man desperately wanted to be saved, but only when he lost control did help arrive. In Buddhism, this aligns with the principle of non-attachment, Viraja. Trust the timing of the universe. The Buddha taught that everything happens according to causes and conditions, praditya samutpada. Just as a lotus flower blooms in its own time, so too do the events of our lives.